I firmly believe, Michelle, that if your children are bringing it up inside the home, it's because they're hearing it outside the home.
Ooh, that's good.
And so like then it sort of takes on a different perspective of like, you know, if you want your kids to talk to you about sex, about online, about like all of these things that are huge things happening right now.
Yeah.
Like your home needs to be a refuge that there's no shame in asking. This is Ryan and Michelle, and welcome to the Celebrate MarriageCast, where we hope to restore and reclaim godly marriages through honest and real conversations.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to episode 130. We are so glad you're joining us today and proud of you for making this investment in your relationship.
Absolutely, Michelle.
Ryan, happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day to you.
From the O'Connors.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just feel like it's fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm not wearing green.
No, I'm not either. But on the actual, this is in advance, on actual St. Patrick's Day, I'll wear green.
Yeah.
Are we going to have corned beef?
Probably not.
Okay. All right. Well, anyways, happy St. Patrick's Day.
I don't know, maybe, but.
What do we have in store for the listeners today, Ryan? You're at the show. What do we have?
Michelle, there has been a word that has also been stuck in my head, and I can't get off of it. And really how important it is in our marriages, in our families, in our homes. And that word is refuge. And this word is used several times throughout Scripture. It's actually where I encountered it here. And so let me just give you a couple of examples. So Psalm 9:9 says, "The Lord is a refuge for the oppressed, a stronghold in times of trouble." Psalm 46:1 says, "God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble." And lastly here, Psalm 71:1, "In you, Lord, I have taken refuge. Let me never be put to shame." And this word is used over and over again in Psalm. It's all over. And it's used throughout the Bible, but it's used a lot in Psalm. I just thought I'd give our listeners like three here. Just to kind of get context of the word. But let's look at what the word actually means. I looked up this. The dictionary defines the word as a condition of being safe or sheltered from pursuit, danger, or trouble. So the question that's been rattling around in my brain is your home, marriage, parenting a refuge?
Yeah, Ryan, I like that description of a safe place. Is your home and marriage a safe place, sheltered from pursuit, danger, or trouble? You think about a lot of the conflict that it seems like people have, they actually bring it in to their marriage.
Yeah.
Like they're inviting it in. But you think about a cozy, safe haven. I think that's what we all desire our homes to be, but are they actually that?
Right.
I love that word refuge.
Yeah.
It creates this picture of safety. I think just like calm, fuzzy blankets, like just peaceful, like this quiet, peaceful home. And so much in Scripture, Jesus tells us that, if our burdens are heavy, we can turn them to Him. Like we don't have to do the work. He can be that for us.
Yeah.
He can be our refuge.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And so it kind of ties in, Michelle, really two areas we want to dive into today about being a refuge. And that first area really to evaluate is your marriage. Like, are you being a refuge for your spouse? And I think it's a really important question. Like, are you being a safe place?
What does that look like for you, Ryan?
Yeah. So for me, this really comes in the form of listening, fully listening, because believe it or not, we don't have all the right answers. So stop acting like it, and I think so often, for me to be a refuge for you, I need to be able to listen, fully listen and stop trying to formulate an answer or stop trying to fix whatever it is. I need to be a refuge, a safe place.
Like a safe place to land where I can bring my troubles and you can just receive it or hear it.
Yeah. I mean, life is going to throw some big stuff and, we don't come with instruction manuals. And so instead of stop giving instructions and do more listening. Like this is repeatedly for me of something that I've needed to learn, because it's so easy to let your own thoughts, hurts, life experiences, opinions,
sure,
to shape your response.
Do you have an example, Ryan, of this for us? Like, what does that look like for you to help to create a refuge for me?
Yeah.
A place of refuge.
Absolutely. Yeah. And part of why this, I think, has been rattling in my brain is because we just had an instance like a couple weeks ago. There's something that we disagree on. Mm-hmm. And that's okay. But instead of being a refuge for you to be able to talk to me, to be able to communicate to me, to tell me things, like I was running this through my own filter, my own thoughts, biases. Mm-hmm. And instead of being a refuge, I was coming across being very judgmental.
Sure.
Now, certainly like that, it wasn't my intention, but understanding that of like, wait. I need to be a refuge for you, a safe place to land, a safe place to bounce ideas off of, to communicate with. And so like that's super important for me to fully listen without running it through all of the things that are in my head.
How did you come to that conclusion that that's what you were doing?
Time and reflection. I think it's just understanding of that, and it's okay that we differ on something.
But I feel like you saw my perspective after you were able to truly listen.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, that's actually not what I thought. And I can see your perspective on this.
Right.
You had more empathy after really listening.
Yeah. And that involved fully engaged listening of like, hey, let's talk through this.
Yeah.
Instead of just like, no, I don't agree with that. So actually fully listening, being that safe place, that refuge for you to be able to bounce those ideas, to fully share, and for me to fully listen.
Yeah. That's great. I was just trying to decide if we should share. I feel like we always share that.
Yeah,
we can share.
Let it rip.
It was about AI. Ryan's super against it. I actually posted a video a couple of weeks ago about our Alexa. I don't want to say her name to set off your device, but she knows my voice. And I was like, Ryan, does she know yours? So you're like, Alexa, I just said it. What's my name? And she was like, I don't recognize this voice. And then you did this voice. Tell her, do it.
Okay, so I disguised my voice so that she wouldn't recognize it.
It sounds like
sounds a cross between the Cookie Monster and Yoda.
Yeah, that's a great description. Yeah. So Ryan is against it, and it's like that Super Bowl commercial where what's his face thought that she was out to get him.
Oh, Thor, Chris Hemsworth. Yeah.
That's Ryan.
Kind of.
Like disguising his voice so that there's no voice recognition and he's not on any like file where AI is going to get him. So anyways, I think it's a helpful tool. I think that we will always need to have a human brain behind it to use it, but I think it's a tool, just like Google is a tool.
Right.
So I was telling you about how I'd use it for a situation, and I think we're just trying to be the protective husband. Like, is this one-sided advice? Like, is this skewed? Is AI just going to agree with whatever you think? And I had let you read the transcript, and you're like, oh, this is actually really good, because there were a couple points where I was like, here's how you could edit, what you said. And you were able to see how I was in this tough situation, just kind of at this, I don't know, not a dead end, but I needed some tips and verbiage, and you were able to see, okay, yeah, that actually was a helpful tool for Michelle in this situation. And it's not that she is replacing. I think you were also wondering like, hey, are you asking AI for something instead of having this in-person conversation with me, your husband? And the answer was, no, I was running it by you too. So I think that was where your concern came from, but it did come across as very much judgmental for my use of it when I really was using it for a tool. And it truly was so helpful for me in that situation. And I think you just needed to hear more of that.
Yeah.
So
agreed.
There you go.
Yeah.
Transparent. Okay. So are you creating that safe place for your spouse to even be able to have those conversations? Because I will say, even though we have different opinions on that, you were able to come around with time and listening, like you said, and processing and say, okay, that actually was really, I can see how that was helpful. So that was great. Okay. So second area, is your home a refuge for your children? So there are so many things competing for their time and attention, and even just messages from your kids and their classmates and what happens at school. I know that, we've shared these past couple of years have been challenging for our son. It's just kind of chaotic learning environment. There are a lot of behaviors in his class. They've been together for multiple years. There's been no shifting of the class because of how his school is structured. So I think, for a learner like our son, it's been more difficult. He's very much a rule follower and a listener. And when there's other kids blurting out or interrupting, it's really distracting. So your kids are coming home from all these things and all these things that they're dealing with all day long. I've also shared way back that I used to, during the pandemic, I subbed just to help out. And I would see crazy things happen at school and crazy behaviors and language and things happening. And it just really made me aware of, after the long day, your kids really need a safe, soft place to land.
Yeah.
Like it's just different. There's so much going on that how can you create that environment where they come home and they feel like it's just a refuge, where they can share about their day and not be judged, where they can truly share what's on their heart and process through things they might have seen or heard or happened to them, and they know. And how can you create opportunities for those conversations too? So we've done various things. We've done high, low, high. What's one high every day? What's one low? What's one high? And that kind of is a pathway to them sharing. We've done, I've asked questions. Were you the kind kid today? Yes, Mom, of course I was. Mom, I was. Okay, well, were kids kind to you? Were kids kind to the teacher? That opens up conversations about what's really going on in the classroom. And I think even, as they're on social media, our son won't be on social media for several years yet, but, is your home a safe refuge where your kids can ask questions about things that they've overheard as it relates to development and growth? And, can they ask you about sex? Can they ask you about friend drama? Can they ask you about feelings and what they see and encounter online? Is it a safe place where you've created that refuge for them?
Yeah, Michelle, that's so good. And I feel like you are so good at this of, I'll be honest, there's a few topics that have been discussed in our home, regarding those above topics that it'd be easy to breeze by or dismiss as not important. You think about sometimes your kids will bring something up to you, and I know I'm guilty of this. Like, oh, it's fine. Like we don't need to talk about it, or just forget about it, or whatever. Yeah. It's easy to do that, but
or like if they see something in the news, like why did that happen, or what's going on, and I think we can want to protect them and just shove it back down. Let's not talk about it. But also, if you can talk about it in a biblical perspective, in a safe way, and a truthful way, I think that that's really helpful.
Yeah. I firmly believe, Michelle, that if your children are bringing it up inside the home, it's because they're hearing it outside the home.
Ooh, that's good.
And so then it sort of takes on a different perspective of if you want your kids to talk to you about sex, about online, about all of these things that are huge things happening right now.
Yeah.
Your home needs to be a refuge that there's no shame in asking, and it's the same with current events of things that are happening in the world. Have your home be a safe place, a refuge that you can have those conversations and have them ask questions and not instantly like shut them down.
Yeah. Or shame them.
Or shame them for asking. It's really important that you have that safe place for them to be able to ask those questions, because if they're not getting the answers at home, they'll get them elsewhere.
And I think there are a lot of resources out there to help. We've had Debbie Wade on in the past. She did a whole episode with us about talking to your children about sex. We bought the 4-part book series that she recommended. And Ryan, I think she was on about a year ago talking to us about that. And we just read book number 1 to our son, which is designed for children ages 3 through 8. And he is past that, but it was very good. We got into some great conversations. And I feel like it was, it was a great step. So it just opened up that dialogue. And part of us, as we went through it, I'd asked, have you like heard, this thing before? And he said, no. And part of me, I wrestled because, and I think I even said that in the preface of the book, there's this balance between wanting to protect him and not, talk about subjects before he's ready. But then the preface of the book talked about, you also want them to hear it from you in your home where you can guide that conversation. So I actually was also happy that we were able to share some things with him first and start the dialogue with just different subject matters. So part of that was reassuring that, this is the right thing to do to facilitate these conversations, because it will come up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Things will come up in middle school, in high school. And I want him to know that we're always going to shoot straight. We're going to tell you the truth. And I've told him that we will, anything you ask, we will give you an honest answer. Yeah. So, I think that was a recent example within the last couple of weeks. And it felt really good. It felt like good parenting to be able to facilitate that. But there are podcasts on, Christian apologetics, and there are books and different tools that you can use too if you're not sure where to even go with it. But find a resource.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And obviously there's a lot of other areas where I think this can apply. I think these were 2 that just really one have been very recent for us. And I think they're very important, especially as, here at Celebrate.church in Sioux Falls, we, have come off this series of house rules, just talking about households. And I just it's really, like I said, this word's just been imprinted on me of just, how do we create a refuge for our marriages, for our kids?
Yeah.
And I think it's so important right now to have that place of safety that, at the end of the day, you can come to your household and have it be a refuge where it's safe, where you can have conversations, where you can have dialogue, you can bounce things off one another, and just really out of place of love and compassion. And I just this word just keeps replaying, but I do think it's so important right now in the world that we live in to have the safe spot.
And to know that ultimately God is our refuge. I love Psalm 46:1. That's what keeps playing in my head. God is our refuge and strength and ever-present help in trouble.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ultimately, we also need to walk with our kids and alongside our spouse in seeking God first and foremost as our refuge to be able to do that in our house.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great show, Ryan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Michelle.
Mystery question
We have
time.
one question left.
You guys, give us more questions. All right, you read it, Ryan.
All right.
You guys, I also just want to address this. If you saw me smirk at the very beginning when you started to read scripture, it was not that was funny. It was because I noticed this big, giant floral Band-Aid on Ryan's thumb. You guys, we talked to you last week about how we resubscribed to HelloFresh, and they're not sponsors, and they sent us this Zwilla.
I don't know. It's a German knife that is super sharp.
And you even told our daughter this weekend, this knife is really sharp. So we're driving today, and I look over and see this giant floral. All we had were floral Band-Aids. Yeah. Those are mine.
Yeah.
You couldn't find Thomas's boy
No.
camouflage Band-Aids. No. So Ryan is rocking these multiple floral Band-Aids on his thumb. And I thought that was
nice.
really funny. Not funny that you hurt your thumb, but it's funny that the pattern that you chose.
Yeah. Yep.
But you're okay. You didn't when we eat dinner tonight, you didn't lose your thumb.
No. It's still there. It's still there. I run a sanitary operation. It's fine.
Thanks, Ryan.
Yep.
All right. What do we have?
All right, Michelle, here you go. If money wasn't an issue, what hobby would you take up tomorrow?
I think I would be a travel. Do they still have travel bloggers? Is that a thing? No,
Yeah.
I don't think so. No, it's just social media.
Well,
Just
I think
travel.
they travel
Like review
travel
person.
writers.
Yeah, I would be one of those.
Yeah.
And stay at really nice places all around the world and just write about my feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you do?
Well, my first thought was
With
travel.
With you.
Yeah. My first thought was travel, but two hobbies that I'd really like to try. I don't think they're expensive. I've never played them. So when I think of hobby, I think of like new sports.
Sure. Did it say hobby?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If money wasn't an issue, what hobby would you take up tomorrow?
Oh, travel's a hobby. Can't it be a hobby?
Yeah, of course it can be. So that would be one. If there were two things that I would try, because I've always wanted to try, one of them is lacrosse.
Okay.
Never played lacrosse, but it looks super fun.
Sure.
And two is cricket. Never played cricket, but also looks super fun.
I think there was a lacrosse team at USD, wasn't there?
I don't know.
In cricket, that's big in Europe, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Do they have cricket leagues here? They do?
I don't know. I have no idea. So anyway, somebody hears this and says, "Hey, we need an extra cricket player." I'm down.
Let us know.
I don't know how to play, but
you're just a good athlete. You'd probably be good at it.
It involves a bat and a ball.
You would be frustratingly good at it, I'm sure. Because everything that you try, you do. You crush. It's kind of annoying sometimes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Seems fun. So, hey.
There we go. Let's
if
make
anybody
Ryan's
wants to get a game of lacrosse or cricket going,
there you go. He's your guy.
hit me up.
You guys, thank you so much for listening today. We are so, like we said, so proud of you for taking this time to work on your marriage. And we're here for you at Celebrate.church/marriage or Celebrate.church. If you don't have a church home, we'd love to have you. Have a great week.
Have a great week.